And the next thing we're going to put together here is a shift drum. If you remember back, I said about that little pin that can fall out sometimes. It's located down in here. All right. The location of that doesn't matter. As you can see, it moves a little bit. Depending on how you assemble the transmission, this could be up, down, left, right. Doesn't matter. On the back of the shift drum is the little notch where that's got to go. That's really the only factor you got to consider here. So pull your spring apart away if you have the spring installed, which I didn't take it out, so there's no need. And just eyeball it, line it up. And you'll know when it goes in because it'll sit flush. Your bolt has a weird bolt with a pin on one side. A lot of people will put Loctite on these, and I've done it. I'm not too concerned about that coming loose. I've never had one come loose. Okay, this is where things get all fun. We're going to put the shift mechanism back together. This is where all the magic happens. Okay, so one thing here I'm just going to point out. There's this tiny little hat. Sometimes that'll fall off. Okay, it sits on that pin. So if you're looking in your bucket of parts and you're wondering what that is for, that's where it goes. You can assemble this without it. It will still shift, but it'll be really sloppy. Okay, a lot of times it'll fall out. This one's staying on pretty good. Okay, so with this, you'll see here there's holes on either side. What you got is your little spring and your little hat. One side has a hole in it, and the other side's closed off. Spring goes in like that. Okay, you take your spring and you insert it like so. So you got this little hat. Now be careful, if you push that and let go, it's going to go flying. Now there is a left and a right of these. Okay, see that one side's more rounded than the other. It's kind of flattish here and curved on the other, and it has an offset slot. The offset slot determines where it goes. Okay, so in this case, it sits in like so, the rounded side in, and the slot lines up so. So when it's flat, that pin is in the center like this. That's all there is to that. So basically it's a ratchet. Do the same on the other side while holding this one. Okay, what you end up with is that. Both sides spring, and they're flush. See here? And that's how she goes together. Okay, so once you got this bad boy together, just hold it, squeeze it in, get a good grip so it doesn't go flying. It's easier to put the retainer on now than to fiddle with it after. And all you do is like that. Alright, you'll see how it kind of sits in here. Same thing. You can get it in here now. And it's a little more difficult with the retainer, but you can still squeeze it and slide it home. Okay, you're now all in. You can put in your two bolts. If you're confused which ones those are, they got kind of a domed head in them. Okay, kind of like what holds these ones in. You can tell the bolt head. Okay, I'm using power tools, but it's not set to the lowest setting. So as far as torque goes for these, I generally go about 7 foot-pounds for any of those little guys. Kids are in here learning the other day, and they didn't put nothing away. Okay, not a lot of torque. Again, you're threading into aluminum, so. Next, we're going to put in your shift shaft. Okay, we left it fairly assembled. There's a view of it. You can see the spring has a one bent side, and it just goes on either side of this bent in tab, and it's held in with a split clip. Okay, for assembly is real easy. It just slides into the lower hole there, which goes right through the crankcase and up the other side. We replaced the outer seal, so on the other side there's no seal on this side. And the spring just splits the shift shaft there that the shift fork sits on, like so. And you line it up over that collar on this end, and there she is home. Now, it sticks out the bottom over on the other side, so if you rotate the engine and put any weight on it, you see it wants to come back out. So just be wary that now that that's there, you can't lay the engine right over on its side anymore. You can, but it's going to come out.